welcome back to my series called Happy Animals. If I keep looking down, I'm sorry. I have my beautiful girl Mirabella on my lap. What I want to talk about today is adding a new animal into your home and steps you can take to make it an easier transition for yourself, the new animal, and all the animals in your home. Sometimes we don't always have the choice when adding a new animal into the home as far as alerting our other animals. If you're like me, you have a vacancy sign hanging above your door where every stray cat and dog finds its way to your home. So, but there are some things you can do to help if you are thinking about adding an animal to your home or getting your animals a companion. Steps you can take to make it an easier transition. So that's what I'd like to talk about a little bit today. So first of all, one of the best things you can do is find out if your existing animals are okay with adding a new animal to the home. And in my work, this is a common question that people will call about, and I'll go through and connect with each of the animals in the home and see if they're okay with, if they want a companion, and if they are okay with, having a new member of the family join them. And a lot of the times they're fine. Sometimes they're very specific as to what they want. Especially if they're the only animal in the home and they love having all the attention. If they are open to having a companion, a lot of times they're very specific about what they would like. Think of it this way: if all of a sudden your mom came home and said, hey, you're gonna have a new baby brother, or we're getting a new sibling to the family, your first reaction is this going to take away from the attention you give me? And this is exactly what your animals feel as well. Another common concern is, well, does that mean I get half as much food? Are they going to get all the attention? Are they going to replace me? So these are just common concerns and worries that they have. And so by alleviating these worries, we can make it an easier transition. So finding out, if they are open to it, finding out what type of personality and energy will work is always really helpful. And, you want to find balance in the home. So if you have a very, very nervous, fearful dog already, you want to get an energy that's going to balance that. So you don't necessarily want to get another, timid, animal. You want something that's going to balance that energy in the home. So think of it that way. But you don't want something that's going to tip the scales as well. So if you have a really, really timid, frightened dog or cat, you want to get a really balanced, easygoing personality. You don't want to go to the other end of the spectrum where you have one that's, overly dominant and bossy and pushy, because they're going to overshadow the existing animal who's a bit shy. So you really want kind of a balanced, neutral, easygoing energy to help give the other animal in the home some confidence, kind of pull them out of their shell. They'll play better together. So you kind of have to think of it this way. And some animals are really specific. They want a younger companion, an older companion. Sometimes they're specific as to what breed. Some dogs are open to cats. Some cats don't want another cat and they would prefer a dog. So, it's interesting what they will come up with. But it's always good to kind of pull your animal companions in the home and figure out what it is they want. So let's say, they're on board. We're going to add an animal into the home. With dogs, it's a lot easier as far as the introduction, getting them outside together. So I like to have dogs meet. If you're going to a shelter to pick out a dog, I always tell people, kind of go in there, feel the energies, see what connects with you, and then you want to kind of get a feel for their personality and if it will be a good fit in the home. if you do feel it's a good fit, the next step would be to bring your the existing dog or dogs and have them meet. You don't want to have them meet in a small space. You really want to have them meet in a neutral outdoor space where they're not feeling like they're confined or that it's too restrictive for them. And that will help to kind of determine if their personalities are going to get along. And sometimes it takes 1 or 2 visits for them to become more comfortable. And sometimes they'll bring the rescue to the home as well, where they can kind of get to know each other, let's say on the second date, in your yard to see how things go. So in preparing your animals for this new addition, it's important that you kind of outline the fact that this animal is not replacing them. And giving your animals a purpose or a job is incredibly important. This goes for anything you're doing with your animals. They want to know what their job and what their purpose is. And I spoke a little bit about this in some of the past talks. But when you give your animals a purpose or a job, you're really giving their energy a focus. So if you have a worried animal or an animal that may have separation anxiety, it gives that energy a focus, something to focus on. Everybody, humans included, they want to feel like they have a purpose. And so by helping your animals to outline what their purpose is in the home or in your life, it helps them to feel more confident, and it gives that energy a focus. And when you're introducing a new animal into the home, one of their jobs can be to help the new animal learn the rules. And I like to give each animal a different job so that they don't feel like they're competing. One animal can patrol the yard, the other one can patrol the house, and one of them can help the new dog figure out the rules. So I like to kind of give everybody a different job so they're not feeling like they have to one-up each other, if that makes sense. So that's a good place to start. Cats are a little bit different. When we add a new cat to the home, sometimes it takes a little bit longer for them to settle and get used to each other, which is normal. I've seen cases where it took months before they kind of felt comfortable with one another. You can help the situation along, again, by giving each of them a purpose and figuring out, first of all, if the existing cat was okay with getting a companion and what they wanted. Consider, again, balancing the energies in the home. I feel like it's a little bit more obvious with dogs. Cats can be a little bit more finicky when it comes to adding another animal into the home. The biggest thing that I hear from cats as really a violation of space. When a new animal comes into the home, cats really want to secure their space, their safe zone. So they're not pack animals like dogs. They have a very different outlook. So just keep that in mind. And if there's hissing and that type of thing, that's actually normal as they start to figure out their roles in the home. So just keep that in mind. You can use rescue remedy prior to them being introduced and things like that. Just kind of calm everybody down, and you can take it yourself as well. Because a lot of times we project a nervous energy. Oh, I hope they get along. I hope this was it the right decision? So that energy our animals are picking up on, and that's all being put in the mix. So you really have to, again, check your energy and what you're projecting and what you expect out of the situation. That's what you want to project. So very, very important that you play a huge role in how they're going to get along. So just keep that in mind. It's very important. You play a role more than you realize in these altercations. So hopefully, once everybody's getting along, it's really important that you figure out ways to kind of have that one-on-one with each animal. A lot of animals, especially the existing animal, when we get a new animal into the home, and this goes too for people when they're having a baby, the existing animals don't want to feel left out. They still want to feel like they're number one or important in your life. So it's very important to find that one-on-one time with them to just reassure them that they're important and that you want to be in the moment with them, be present with them. You know, and I'm guilty of this as well. We have really busy lives, we're running around, and a lot of times we just need to stop, and we need to do this with our animals and our loved ones, and just be completely present in the moment, even if it's just a few minutes. Being completely present and there is a very powerful thing. So think about that with your animals. Just because you're around doesn't mean you're giving them that special one-on-one or being completely present where your energies kind of meld together and you feel like you are one. So that is a wonderful tool to just help everybody to find their harmony. So I hope that helps a bit. And just remember, you listen.